Burbank.
Burbank, okay.
In February, and she
from
found
from
it
Glendale.
from Glendale. Yeah, so I went Florida, Costa Mesa, to Vanguard. After I had to drop out of school, I went to live with some friends in Irvine. Lived there for like 4 years, three years, and then I moved up to LA by myself and set up my own place. And I lived here in Glendale for like 5 years, and then proposed to Celeste, and then we moved in together when we got married. 4 years ago in February.
Wow.
Yeah. So moved in together in February. October came around. She found you guys, which was cool, because she had been driving up and down here, and she's like, let's go try it together, because she knew about the benefits of jiu-jitsu.
She just drove by Legacy, or she found it online?
I think she might have found it on Yelp.
Okay.
And I think she had been to Acai Jungle by herself once before when I was at work. I think something like that. I'm not sure. And so she was the one that came in. And then that day that I came in, you were the one that taught us.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Which you don't teach fundamentals. So it was special.
It's interesting. Yeah. People always have those like these black belts, because I met them at the door, or made the effort, right? But you just never know, right? One small act of whatever it is, makes a difference.
I don't know if whoever taught noon was sick or gone that day, and then Edson was teaching advanced, so you just jumped in and helped teach fundamentals. And I think it was me and Celeste and one other person.
Did I teach the scissor sweep?
I think you taught double leg takedown and scissor sweep. And I remember Celeste was getting frustrated because...
I remember that, actually.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So that was crazy to think
about. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah, a little over 3 years ago. Because I didn't know that wasn't the norm for the head instructor to teach the fundamentals class. I had no idea what was going on. And I thought it was fun that first day. Celeste was like, I'll try it again, maybe. And by the third class, she was like, I don't really like it. And I was like, this is hard, but I could see myself getting potentially better suited with the mentality of defense, self-defense. So I pushed myself. The first 2 months, I was like, I don't really like this either, but I'm going to keep going and pushing myself because, like I mentioned, I never had fought before. So that physicality aspect, it had never been harnessed inside of me. And when I kept pushing myself and I started getting better and the things started to click and they started to click and I started to get a better understanding of positioning and base and all that different stuff. And then, 2 months go by and I'm doing pretty good. And then I think a third month goes by, and then Professor Joey, who's teaching the fundamentals class, he's like, "Did you lose a stripe?" And I was like, "No, I never got one. Was I supposed to ask?" He's like, "No, never asked." And then that class, he gave me 2 stripes. And it was one of those things where, like, from there, I was like, okay, cool. Not that I needed it. I can do this. Yeah. And then it was just like, started really dedicating myself to the competition class that Edson used to teach. And I started making friends, and people started teaching me different ways and different styles. And it took a minute for me to understand how I learn, the kinesthetic and then the auditory aspect of, like, there's different styles of doing it. And now I think that's helped me a lot to be able to learn too, not only with the kids, but also with the adults classes, because some people learn by seeing, some people learn by doing, and then some people learn by having it explained. So when I teach, I try and focus on all three and making it really, really fluent for people to be able to learn as best as possible. I would never have expected that I'd be coaching ever growing up. I was always like, whenever my brain processed, like, what do I want to do? Doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever. Teacher was always the first one to be X'd out. I think because I just always had, like, such a chaotic relationship with a lot of my teachers. There's a lot of teachers that I admired and that influenced me growing up, but never really thought that I'd be in this position. Yeah, it was.
And here you are, the head kid.